Today's video is going to be using a Kali VM and running Wireshark, and we're going to focus in on these protocols and see if we have encryption or not, and the port numbers. So first thing we do, let's do this here. Click on my VM settings. I'll do advanced first. Shared clipboard, network, bridged, and promiscuous all. That'll enable the Wireshark to capture packets. The bridge will enable you to get an IP from your environment. All right, go ahead and start that. While it's booting up, we'll get our IPs, ipconfig /all. All right, let's log in. All right, so let's get our IP address here. So my environment's using a 172.254.0.163, and looks like 114. All right, so let's go ahead and do an nmap here. So nmap. Control-Shift-V will paste. So you can see that nmap will scan the device. It scanned 1,000 ports, and 1,000 ports are closed. The well-known port numbers from 1 to 1023 are what we call well-known. So these are well-known here. So let's go ahead and start our Apache. So sudo service Apache. So let's do the nmap command, see if we have any ports open, and which is predicted, it opens up 80 and also 9876. So to verify that, let's turn off the service. And then nmap. And once again, it's closed. Go back up and start. And let's go ahead and start. Let's test this. So let's open a new terminal. Control-Alt-T opens a new terminal. Do sudo wireshark. You don't run with sudo, you're not going to see any activity. So right here's my Ethernet. Let's focus in on http. So we are going now to test the website. So already we have traffic, but that's from the real internet. So 127.0.0.1 is a loopback. And then you can see that you go down here. Let's go ahead and do the IP address, 163. And then here you go, HTTP. 163 to 163. So if we right click, go down to follow, you can look at the HTTP stream and is it readable? Some things are readable, some things aren't. So you can say there may be some slight encryption here. All right, so we'll close out of that. All traffic starts flowing again. So now let's go ahead and turn on SSH. Nmap. So now we see port 22 is open. We can test SSH -L Cali, and then the IP address. And so filter SSH. Okay, we saw no traffic though. So let's try from the Windows machine. SSH-L Cali. So there's our encryption now. We just seen it. So yes to the fingerprint and CYBER. Now, if we do a right click on these and go down to follow your stream, now there's your password. You're seeing us using a SHA-256. So we can open any of these here, TCP packet, follow the stream, and there's unreadable data. So this proves that this encrypting using this SHA-256 hash encryption. All right, what's next? XRDP. So sudo service xrdp start. Type the password correctly. Okay, so let's install it. Sudo apt install xrdp. Yes to install. Let's do an nmap. So no new ports are open. So we can assume that XRDP uses SSH. So let's do this, SSH. And then we'll go to the Windows remote desktop, put in your IP, and you can see already that things are coming in. Did we start the service? All right, so I just started the service. Let's do an nmap again. There we go. That's what I was looking for. 3389. That's your remote desktop. All right, so now let's try it again. Let's try RDP. Now we're going to try Cali. Okay, so what's happening is I'm trying to log on to Kali, which I'm already logged into. So we got to make a new user. And here's a different way to start servers with port number. We'll check that out in a minute. So we need to make user. So add user RDP. So it's telling me I got to do sudo. Put the password in. And just press enter here, and notice there's a capital Y. So if you just press enter, you don't need to type it. That's default. Okay, so now we added, so we can go back here to remote desktop, hit connect, say yes, do RDP. So I successfully remoted in. Here's my VM. So if we go here now, here's your security exchange. It's using a 128-bit encryption. So if we follow any of these, it shouldn't be readable. Once again, not readable without being reconverted. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. So at this point, we have to shut down the Apache server. Nmap. Notice we have no port 80 open any longer. So let's use Python and change the port number. So now, remember, it takes over the window. Let's start a new terminal. Do nmap. Oops. So now port 8080 is open for HTTP proxy. Control C will cancel, and nmap again. Notice it's back closed. Now let's open up port 443. So 443. Once again, we should predict that now port 443 is open. So a hacker can also change ports and come in different ways. And then can we start the service FTP? Sudo service FTP start. Okay, so let's try secure FTP. So we have it in here. Okay. Well, we'll conclude the video there. We got to do the Wireshark remote desktop, so you can take your monitor off your device and just let it sit on the network.